filtered water through coffee grounds.
Yeah.
I think we're close enough. If everyone want to rise and do the Pledge of Allegiance together, please. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Got it. All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. A few items to mention. If you could silence your cell phones, watches, etc. Our meetings are public and recorded, and this is a business meeting, so we ask everyone to conduct themselves in a professional manner. Our city code allows for public comment up to 3 minutes, and for best sound quality, please lean into these microphones to speak. So with that, we will kick off the evening's concurrent meetings with Finance Committee.
Yeah, I'll call finance to order at 6 o'clock. Those present be myself, Hannibal and Peel. Or I'm sorry, Hannibal and Nevois. And I'd like to entertain a motion for the approval of the prior month's meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Maturing CDs, none at this time. As far as the financial dashboard in your packets, we are currently at 50% of the fiscal year budget. With at 56% for revenue and 32% of expenses. We currently have $1,123,350.69 cash on hand. So with that, I will move to the holiday gift certificates for the employees, which will total $5,825. Did have a question on this. Is the different amounts, is that for people that's been there longer or full-time, part-time?
Yes, part-time gets $75 and full-time gets $125.
Okay. All right.
You might note too, we included even the pool workers that we had over the summer. If they were still considered an active employee, they are on this list. If they're active as of the day you put this together last week, this is everybody that's on our payroll right now, just
Okay.
informational.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering about that as well. Thank you. I'd like to entertain a motion that we move forward with purchasing the gift certificates for the employees.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We'll go to the health insurance renewal. You take a look at that in your packet. A lot of numbers there, but at the end of the day, if we go with the proposal of moving to Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois, our savings will be $68,071.80.
And Liz is here that she can fill us in on a few more details.
you wanna-
If anybody has any questions, but the network is still as big as what we have. It's their biggest network. We're not losing anything. Jessica from Einstein looked into the providers and doctors, and she doesn't see any discrepancies that she has found that our employees use now.
Right, that would be the biggest question probably for the
Correct.
employees.
Yes,
And specialist, he didn't see anything alarming
not
where
that she could find, no.
people would be out of network.
And
Okay.
Liz, this keeps us in compliance with Illinois' new thing where you've got to go through theirs. Is that correct?
I don't know.
What are you referring to?
Well, Illinois passed a law that you can't go through the government website anymore, or the Obamacare, I guess technically, it actually is through the state of Illinois. And I'm pretty sure Blue Cross Blue Shield is.
Okay,
in that.
I'll confirm with Jessica. I'm sure she probably already knows that,
Right.
but she had never mentioned that in any of our meetings, so I'll confirm that with her, but
Okay.
and let you guys know, but I'm sure.
And usually Affordable Care Act is usually more for individuals. This is group, so it might be outside of that,
I
but
don't know.
you may know more than we do at this point about that. So, okay, we can check into
I
that.
think if you have a group plan, I don't think you qualify for,
No, I would, you couldn't be on the
Affordable Care Act.
marketplace.
I don't
Yeah.
believe so. Okay, so I would entertain a motion that we move forward with the proposal here. I know
So-
that Liz has done an awful lot of homework on it and talked to her a little bit about it today.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Tax levy ordinance number 1564. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is something we have to do every year and provide this to the circuit clerk with all the financials, correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay. And we've been doing this for quite some time, correct?
Yeah, we have to do it every year.
Okay.
So the amount on the tax levy to be levied for the 2026 year is $791,997.
That's what we levy,
5%.
not necessarily what we
What
get.
we get.
Yeah.
That's what we request.
I mean, it's all broken down here in what department or entity gets from it, so.
Correct.
Did anybody have any questions? Entertain a motion that we move forward with the ordinance, 1564.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. This is boiler insurance policy. I'll pass this off to you, Liz.
Yeah, so this is the insurance policy for our generators. On October, we were given a letter of notice of non-renewal from the Cincinnati company who currently had our policy because it was the only policy we had with them, so they dropped us. So I reached out to IML RMA and they reached out to their underwriters, Travelers. And tomorrow Josh has an on-site visit with their rep for him to come do a survey research.
Yeah, it's a risk assessment with Travelers already. In the meantime, I did reach out to other IMEA members that also have generators, Highland, Freeburg, Waterloo. We had a mix. A couple of them had Travelers RE, some of them had Cincinnati. So I did give them the heads up that if it's the only policy they have with Cincinnati, we're getting dropped because of it's our only policy, just a heads up to them. So but yeah, that's so what's we got going on. So we'll have a risk assessment meeting with them tomorrow to do a walkthrough, and then hopefully we'll have some more information.
So then they'll draw up a report, and then from that, I'm assuming they'll send us a policy. But our current policy expires December 1st.
So
So
it's
pending the
definitely time
on-site-
sensitive that we act on
Yeah,
it tonight,
so-
correct?
Well, pending on the on-site visit, we'll have to approve that policy.
When did they give us notice? Seems like a very
The
short.
beginning of October,
They
And
met
it
the
took-
they met the required guideline. I mean,
and then RMA didn't get back to me until October 24th.
And then didn't set up the meeting. Oh,
And then they had to set up the appointment.
yeah. But in talking to him, he did say that it wouldn't be a problem to get it
Correct,
done as
yes.
long as
Yeah,
everything
he
went.
emphasized that, yes.
Okay.
So what happens if we do lapse?
We just won't have insurance.
we just would be uncovered for
We
that
wouldn't be
period
covered.
until we'd have the new policy.
Okay, there's no like 30-day with Cincinnati or anything that
Not to
Since
say-
they did a notice of
done,
non-renewal,
it's
no,
done.
no.
Cause they're giving us, they gave us 30-day notice.
Yeah.
Essentially, so.
Good.
So I would entertain a motion that if the on-site visit goes well, that we move forward with the policy because it obviously is a time sensitive and maybe we could shop it around a couple other places next year or something.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed a couple of like the other communities that do have IML also do have Travelers as part of their generator coverage, so. They do have, a couple other ones do have that both, so. Ultimately, like I said, we'll go through and do that, and then I guess would there be a formal approval then? Just the
December
third,
1st,
but
yeah.
the first meeting, but
Yeah.
we would already have to, because have to be bound before end of business that day, I assume, so.
So do I have a motion to move forward with the policy pending the on-site visit?
I'm not sure what we're asking for there.
I'm not either, because
We'll have to purchase.
We'll have to have the policy in place prior to the actual meeting. On the first, because the meeting's at 6, the policy would have to be bound.
Right, I get that. But that would be our only option, you're saying, no matter what the money is?
At this point, if you want an insurance policy on the generators.
Because the way that all the time, the timing of it.
The
You
only
remember-
one,
Do you remember, Liz, was that like 14,000?
15,660 a year we've been paying for the last 3 years.
I mean, it just. I know we don't have much choice, but it seems like we're working a little backwards there
I mean,
and kind of giving them an open check.
I understand.
I don't know, we have a choice.
We can just put on this council agenda, we don't have to approve anything now. I mean, it has to go to the city council no matter what for us to approve it, we've done that before.
Yeah, because technically I won't be able to bind that until
You
the
can't.
evening of, when do we meet? The third?
First.
First? That's right, it is the first. And we won't know that.
Either way, it's not gonna have council approval until,
Mhm.
so we may as well just wait and do it then. Right?
There's no way to get any more quotes between now and then because of the own.
That's the only one we were able to get
That's the
in
only
contact
one.
with.
Get.
I'm saying, one way or another, you're gonna have to sign this policy. And it's gonna take full council approval at some point. We may as well just wait until you.
Yeah, because even if you do a risk assessment tomorrow, they're still gonna have to put something together. It could be days before they come back
He said
with.
he usually can get that done in a day.
Yeah.
Okay, good to
Yeah.
know.
I mean, I don't know. That's a question for her.
Yeah, I would say
Doesn't
we can
matter.
do this motion this evening. Stay in touch with us via email. See where we're at by Wednesday. And then we may have to reevaluate this. If they come back with a code of 6 digits or something, yeah, that's a whole nother ballgame.
Well, absolutely.
Because you're right, we don't know what they're gonna come back with. But we need some kind of insurance is the
I mean,
other
we would
problem.
hope it's within reason of what we currently
Mhm.
have, but. And I'm quite
You have
certain,
to, it's a yearly premium, you'd
I'm
have to,
certain it is if other communities have gone with them,
Mhm.
you know, but.
or you probably get a break if you pay for it. by the
This
year.
last policy, we had a 3-year contract for a 3-year term.
So where are we at? You made a motion?
I
you-
actually asked for a motion, I didn't make one.
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay, and if we could, add to the motion here that we were made aware of what that premium will be the minute that you guys get it. That way, if it
Yeah.
is something outlandish, we can take action on it if we need to.
Yeah, and like I said, I will not be able to bind it until after the council meeting.
But if it comes back and it's 25 or 30,000, maybe we start doing research or get with Josh, we figure out what we need, or just buy it for a month while we're shopping elsewhere.
I don't know if there is elsewhere, but we could keep digging.
I did, if we could be made aware of what the premium is as soon as you guys get it, that would be
I'll
great.
put together an email after Josh's meeting with him tomorrow, after he gets back to us with what he comes up with. So
Okay.
you all,
Okay.
you know.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. There's nothing in the packet, but Jill referenced this in her weekly updates of the proposed use of the grant funds for the energy transition community grant. In 2023, we were awarded 86,000. 2024, we were awarded 68,000 and some change. We want to go after this grant again and basically to start replacing the hydrants. Josh has identified 21 hydrants and the cost on them range from $5,000 to $17,100. So that's what this grant money would go towards if we're awarded it. And then Jill is also applying for the Farm Bureau Rural Development Grant for $10,000 that would also, if we vote in favor of this, would go towards replacing the hydrants. So I would entertain a motion that we give Jill the go-ahead to apply for this grant.
I think we've already done that. It's just a matter of how we're gonna
Oh,
use
how the
the
funds
money.
are, that's right, that's
Yes.
correct. Oh,
This one's a little bit different. It's a 2-step application instead of just a one.
okay, that is
So
correct, yeah.
we've passed the first phase of that application, so now this is the second phase where we have to have this on an agenda item through a public meeting, invite stakeholder input, so as long as everybody is in agreement that that's a good project to use these funds for, I think we should be good to go.
I
Definitely needs to be done.
think, I don't have a problem with using that money for those items. But after we're awarded the money, should it not be an action of the council to spend it on that?
Let's see, we approved to
We approved
apply
to
for the
apply
grant, and that's usually where,
Come back for any other.
yeah, because there's no match. There's
No, I'm saying once we're awarded the grant and we know the exact money,
Yeah,
would we need to come back to council to approve spending that money on hydrants?
I say we haven't done that with other grants, like the regional site readiness, like the business park grants. Maybe we should have, we haven't.
Just curious. I mean,
What's-
I guess
what's-
as long as everyone's aware of what it's going to.
One thing unique about this too, there was no match. They just,
Right.
it's all,
Mhm.
Yes. Okay.
that's helpful.
So I would like to make a motion that if awarded the grant, that we use the monies awarded to replace the hydrants.
repair and replacement,
What's that?
repair and.
Re-
or
Repair
replacement.
and replace.
Yeah, the difference in the pricing is some of just hydrants, some are adding valves that don't have valves on them. So to replace the hydrant, you gotta add a valve in.
Okay.
So that's why there's a
Yeah, I
disparity in the
noticed
cost.
there's- Okay. Okay, so motion's on the table?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Regional site readiness, round two, I'll hand this over to Jill.
Okay, so regional site readiness, so the first grant that we received for the business park, this is now a second version of the same grant program. We've been really highly encouraged to find something that we could utilize these grant funds for. The likelihood of us being able to receive funds, I think people just aren't as ready as what we are with the business park. So it's very encouraged for us to apply for something. I've met with Liz and Josh and the mayor and it all kind of boils down to, this is a 2-year project window, which is pretty much shorter than anything else that we've had before. So any of our big projects that we would like to apply for, we're talking about potential of a substation. We're talking potential natural gas regulator from the south side over to the east side business park. We talked about water towers. They're not eligible because they don't directly impact the Breadbug Business Park. I was in communication with the grant manager. Josh and Liz and I met again today. We really need to know what our leniency is on our project completion. If they give us a little bit more time and they're okay with us on a 2-year waiting list to get a substation ordered, then if they're all right with that and they understand that that's the window that we're dealing with and they're willing to kind of work with us on the timeframe, that's a potential that we could apply for. The other thing that we talked about was the natural gas regulator, which Josh, I'll kind of let you talk about the easements and whatnot, and just the timeline that would take.
Right, so I mean, kind of going back to the substation, it's just like what we were talking about, with being an 80-20. That's a $6.1 million project. We'd be looking at only costing us, if we were to be successful in that and the timelines would all work out, the $6.1 million substation could only cost us 2 point whatever that comes out as math. The reg station that we also talked about, I met with Lindsay Enlow with USDI. That would be to add a reg station. That's been one is in the capital plan to extend a steel gas main from the Blackjack station, right before the Blackjack station, come around basically kind of back behind Miller's Meat Market, follow our pole line, back behind the lagoon, and then end up close somewhere over there by the business park. We kind of identified a spot close to our existing lift station on our own property currently, where we could possibly put this reg station and be able to tie it into the system, and then also then help pressure control for that area. Part of that is obviously getting easements, as some of you have been on the council, what we had to do when we did the 7, I know Bill and was for sure, when we did going west, getting the easements for the from the owners to put that line in. So it's that project was a estimated cost of about 1.1 million. Just because it's steel gas main, yep, welding and everything else, the coatings, protections. Ultimately, what I'm gonna do just to, get a feeler for, because we don't want to put in for that project and then have problems getting easements. I'm gonna go out, try and at least talk to the property owners, say, would you guys, this is what we're looking at. putting this in, make sure we have easements. We have a pole line that runs all the way back through the Giebert Farm, back behind the lagoon. I'll verify at the county if was just labeled as electric or if it was utility.
That's gonna be the question.
And then obviously there would be payments set as such for those easements on a price per foot. I believe when we did that in 2017, those prices were set by the court or something. We had some kind of documentation that there was something that this is what we paid for a full utility easement, and if it was just, we had a few that only would allow us to do a gas easement, so then we only paid them a quarter of that price.
Yeah, I think you're right, yeah.
No, this was when we did the West Main, when we replaced the ductile line heading out west out to MM Road.
Oh.
We had that old ductile line that went out there and we replaced it with PE. So ultimately, that's kind of what we're looking at is those couple projects. In the interim, I'm gonna start kind of just contacting the property owners just to say, hey, you good with the easement? It doesn't restrict their use of the property. It's basically just an easement for us to be able to get that line in.
And we're not talking that many property owners, are we?
5 or
identified
6.
five.
Cause you're crossing, you come into one, then you go through, you get into another one, you actually cross back over the same, another property, how it's laid out.
Josh, I pulled the map up if you,
It's Mike
One
Carney,
issue.
I know it's
Randy Kester.
Randy Kester, there's Mike Carnahan, Bob and
Carney,
Joyce Carnahan, Lane Giebert Trust,
And Coral,
and
EKK.
something like that. Oh, Kevin Horrell, that corner property there by the reg station. So
How wide is that easement that we currently have out there, do you know?
that's, I don't know on that electric. That's what I gotta fit on that pole line. Cause I'm
I was
not,
just curious,
yeah.
is it possible?
well, if it is, can we somehow rewrite it from if it's an electric to a utility
That's yeah,
is what so that's what I'm about to do some investigation, go to maybe get a hold of the courthouse, find out from that, see what's recorded down there or have Christie look up what may be in the scan of the files.
that would be the easiest route.
So at least part of it, you already have an easement. We have to at some point for the power poles running through there. So what that easement specifically is noted as. I know when we did the west extension, we tried to write it as full utility easement for basically the what if we needed to extend other items out there.
So ultimately, this grant is also on a rolling basis, so there's not a specific deadline. We have a rolling opportunity until, what's it, March, I believe?
March 31st, I think it
Uh-huh.
was.
So at this point, like I said, I talked to the grant manager, trying to ask a couple questions. Either way, on either of these projects, we don't have the funds available for our match, so that would be, we would need probably some future conversations of, if we're gonna do the substation, what does the construction loan look like? Is that a possibility? I've asked if we would go that route, could we then put interest rate that we accrued into the grant as we write it? They were gonna look into that and let me know. I will be speaking with Kristen Richards, she's the DCEO director for the state of Illinois. She's gonna be at that meeting on Wednesday. I can talk to her and kind of ask her as well if I don't hear from her since then, or by then, but either way, there's a couple things that I think with the easements that we could move forward on just to open up those possibilities that as these grants become available, that way we're not waiting on those things that we can already take care of now.
But obviously anything formal approval wise would come back to council
Absolutely.
for approval of any easement and payments of such easements.
So what exactly are you guys needing from us tonight? I mean, there's really no action to be taken right now. It just
I don't-
sounds like
I
to
don't think
do
there
some more
is.
homework and.
It's just just to keep you updated on that and what,
Right.
because they're bigger projects, we wanted to make sure that you guys were aware of what we were thinking about.
Okay. All right, well, yeah, keep us updated. Appreciate the info, and you're gonna be working, just touching base with landowners for the time being.
I'll be trying to see what I can
And
come up with on, gathering that information.
And you'll probably have some more information for us on your Friday update. You talk to.
That's
All right, Moving on to the chamber feature item, I'll let Jill speak on that.
Okay, so the chamber feature item, the chamber for Redbud, you have, renderings that were included in your packet. I was gonna throw this up. They are very excited about this project. They've been working on it for a while now. And their consensus is that they would like to put this feature item, right at the flower bed by 2 lanes on the city's parking lot. Ideally, they were talking about wanting to get everything installed and have it ready for America 250. In speaking with them, they haven't yet got the finalized dimensions. Some of the things that they've been throwing around, the whole stencil is the one who I've been communicating with. He said that the letters themselves are 5 to 6 foot tall. And the little tree that you see as an accessory, that can be removed and put on and off and can be interchanged with other featured things throughout the year, like for seasonal things. That tree in itself is like 8 foot tall. So this is going to be a very large item that they want to place on that property. My concern, and I know the mayor's talked to Cole too about the existing flower bed. It was established with Henry Thielen funds. We definitely want to be respectful of that area. Addition to that, I think there's gonna need, if this is something that the council agrees to, I think we need to get a landscaper involved and really kind of give us, because I think there's gonna be some major modifications to that flower bed that would need to occur in order to make the installation doable. I wanted to bring it to you guys first, so that way you could talk about it, know about the project, ask questions. If it's something that you are okay with, then I can move forward and try to get a landscaper to come over, review the project, give their thoughts and ideas on how it could be installed, if it could be installed there. Because I know this is something that they want people to take pictures by, you know, and to have like a, you know, you take your picture by it and hashtag tag the city. It's a tourism type thing. So.
I like the idea, but I'm concerned, I just don't feel like we have enough information, how it's gonna be structurally mounted, or, you know, how it's gonna be mounted to a structural flower bed. What the dimension, how, we know how tall it is, but we don't know how wide it is. And I mean, how heavy is it? Can it, is it even gonna work sitting on the flower bed? Will I have to do other stuff? I mean.
So I didn't want to go and start asking the landscaper those questions if you guys were like, nope, we hate this idea, we don't want it at all. So if you guys are okay with it, then we can move forward and start getting those questions answered. My concern is the timeline. If this has got to be something that a landscaper gets involved with, we would have to probably be getting that approval, probably December, January, get it installed before March, because then April is their go season and then their landscapers probably won't be available. So that's why we kind of threw it on committees to start the discussion tonight. So what would you like to know?
I mean, I'm not opposed to the actual sign and whatever they're wanting to do. I think it's great that they're getting involved in doing so. I'm not so sure that's the best location. For a couple reasons. The size of it, I don't think it'll fit well into that area. And it'll kind of take away from the whole downtown look, I think. Just my opinion. The other thing that comes to mind is I just drew a blank, the foundation. At one time had discussions of putting a mural on the north side of that 2 lanes building. Where that's at, if it'll become reality or not, I don't know. But I mean, you don't want to put a mural here and then put a big sign here and cover it up. You know, I don't think it's anything we'd want to jump into real quick, just to. I've been trying to think of a better location. I mean, I can think of a few, but they'd be private property, which I'm sure they don't want to get involved in.
That was their.
The only other one I thought of, which is city property, is the library. You know, there's quite a bit of space out there. You know, there is a planter box out there, which that, you know, it's not that big a deal. I don't think that couldn't be moved or.
But have you seen Waterloo's? Have you
Yeah.
been by it? You know, they've got a little, I guess you call it pocket park.
Little
Nice.
mini
Yeah.
park, yeah,
Kind of sits between two buildings and they've not really landscaping, they just have some pavers and stuff around
Right.
it.
I
And
mean-
I know people do use it. I've seen people take their pictures on it.
yeah. You know, I guess my first thought was you want to keep it along your main highways, but Waterloo's really not.
No,
like-
it's at the four-way or the.
Yeah,
the
it's kind of
courthouse,
in
right
that
across the
downtown
courthouse.
area, yeah. You know, or Finley Park behind the library. Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of open space out there.
I think the target is gonna be foot traffic.
Yes.
Are you gonna have foot traffic at the library?
Yeah.
All
Well,
your foot traffic is gonna be kind of up here by the four-way.
Maybe not currently. But like at Finley Park, if you worked it in somehow there, may create some foot traffic, people coming in, stopping in and, you know, taking pictures and whatever. You know, I don't know the answer to that here, but I understand what you're saying.
Right.
You know, it just, I'm okay with what they're wanting to do. The location, I'm not excited about. I think it's gonna take away from too many things and you know, it currently looks pretty nice up there when everything's in bloom and when they have it decorated at Christmas and you know, and then all of a sudden we're gonna have a big metal sign set in the middle of it. You know, my opinion.
Jill, what happens if, cause that's those are concrete block planters. And then they have, Eagle Stone's face stone on them,
Right.
cause we actually worked on that with them when they put that in. What happens if they take, I like the location, to be honest with you, what if there was a concrete wall poured right behind the planter? And elevated it a little bit where if you, again, you wanted a photograph opportunity, you kind of sit at the planter or in front, on the front of the planter and still have it visible behind you.
Yes, so if you give me a second here, the mayor has taken some pictures too. I think the concern is space, is how big that space we would need. But I think, honestly, I think that would be my preferred, if they're gonna do it in that location, I think it would be better to do something behind the flower bed and elevate it and raise it up rather than
I would agree with that.
completely like redoing the flower bed that we have in there.
I don't like it sitting on top of the planter like that.
Well, yeah, well, number one, I don't think it'll be real heavy. I think, and Waterloo's, the couple times I've been by it, I think theirs is only, their letters are probably between a foot and 16 inches in depth. Just, and again, the depth of it is more to give you the look of the letters standing out than anything. I don't know.
You know, the other question I would have, if you're looking at it for a picture opportunity, if you put it there, you're gonna have to be in the middle of the highway to take a picture.
That my one thing I brought up was people climbing up into there to try and get a picture. Now you're putting people up into there, you're creating risk liability for maybe somebody now being in the flower bed, or you know,
Yeah,
you'd have to try
You can get
and,
right in front of
Yeah.
it, stand up.
Right.
there and-
Or if they're on top of it, and that's long fall, whenever it's already up there, or if it's back.
I mean, I honestly think the only way it would work up there is to eliminate that center planter box and put it there, you know, which I'd hate to do that.
I just don't like
tro-
I don't. I just don't care for it. I don't know. I like our downtown and I like the fact that they're doing it, but Waterloo's done it. I'm good. I'm fine with them doing it and we do it. I just 5 foot tall letters and I think it looks good the way it is right now. And it was Henry Thielen money and it's set up nice and I think it looks good and I'm all about that. That's fine. If we go for it, I'll vote with it, but it doesn't pop for me. I don't care. It's just not my thing. That's me. But everybody can do whatever. I'm good with it.
Well, ultimately, it's the
good.
city's property, so you guys kind of have the final.
No, I know, and I'll roll with it. I'm not making waves. That's just I seen it and I was just like, I'm not a fan.
I'm good with it. I think there could be a better location.
I'm good with it. I like Rodney's idea.
If we do that, I agree
Well,
with.
that would be better than.
Yes,
So-
yes.
You're referring to an elevated platform, if you would, behind the flower box, like she's got on?
Yeah, because actually the flower box, as you get back behind it, is not as tall as it is in front.
No, yeah, it.
You can
No.
kind of see it from that.
But how do you keep people out of the flower box in the summer?
You won't.
And then the problem is that previous Google image she had, like you said, the height of that thing, you can put a little kid on the end and they come falling off of that. That's a pretty good drop.
Yeah,
5, 6
I
foot,
think
that
11 plus.
be
plus
creating-
3 foot. I mean,
Yeah, look at the guy walking there. It's up to like his elbows or so. You know, that's a, I didn't
I
measure
wouldn't care if
it.
we took a parking spot and put it closer to the building. And face it, whatever. I mean, I hate losing parking, but we're gonna lose something if we do that anyway. I don't,
Is there opportunities at the Rats Park? There's plenty of foot traffic there.
it's fine too. I just don't care for the location.
And we all know where the perfect spot would be. Where the Christmas tree is right now. But to try and get a permanent easement or anything there, I don't know.
Yeah, and then you got the picnic, you'd have to worry about it, you know, during the fireman's picnic and different things.
No, I'm not talking back here. I'm talking
Stencil.
By the stencils.
Oh,
stencil.
Yeah, that'd be the spot.
yes.
And hopefully Cole had talked to him, but
Gee, I wonder if Cole
The
knows those people.
The chamber's ideal location is they want to put it at 2 lanes. That's what they communicated, so.
and I could totally understand if he wouldn't want to, you know.
Mhm.
I can't think what worked pretty good.
I don't know.
Is it something you gotta have a decision on, or is it something that,
No, but I think the chamber is. It seems like this is a project that's been talked about for a while. They would like to get going on it, they'd like to get it installed for the 250 celebration. If it's something that, you know, you want me to go and get more information from a landscaper to see what, like, if we would do something behind it, what that would cost, what that would look like. I can go ahead and.
have they
move
got
forward
a
with it.
projected cost for the sign and all that?
The chamber is taking care of all the sign.
Okay.
So they have that covered.
Is the height, is that? Does it have to be that tall?
I don't think it has to. I think that's just what they've currently been talking about. So I think it could be something smaller. I think they wanted something substantial, you know, to be that,
Well, I get that,
that
but,
far out. Yeah. So, but if
I'd
you,
be okay with it.
but there again, if that
Okay,
parking
then.
lot was 3 times the size, the width it is, it would look fine sitting there, you know? So,
I
I
think
mean,
nothing has been ordered or set in stone by any means. I know they were, Cole said he should have had the final dimensions. I met with the chamber in Santa's Village and all them last week, Wednesday. He thought he'd have it by the end of the week. I don't think he has it at this point. But it's definitely something that is still in the works. It's not been ordered and finalized. So I'm just concerned that if we don't either give them an answer, yes or no, they won't have enough time to find another location, get it installed and all that, that they would in their time frame to get it ready for America 250.
What if we were to come up with a list of alternative sites? And I'll be more than willing to present it to Cole and say, hey, what would you think about a couple of these? And see if they would work for what their ideas are.
I know that they have already discussed all of the ones that we've talked about tonight, except for the Finley Park location. That's already been, they've talked about the square, they've talked about over by stencils, they've talked about, you know, ideally, you know, doing it someplace back here, but they keep coming back to 2 lanes. That's kind of what they're fixated on.
So I pretty much said if they're gonna do it, they're gonna do it there. So,
I mean, if we say no, they're gonna have to go someplace else.
Well, yeah.
But that's where they would like it to be.
I mean, if.
I don't think it works on the flower box. It needs to be, like what Rodney said. Need to, if it's gonna go there, it needs to be. put some-
Well, like I said, I think the size too. I don't know what's the exact size they say this is gonna be, or they're wanting it to be?
So as of right
Just
now,
have
the
five.
letters are 5 to 6 foot tall and the
Yeah,
tree is
let's see.
8 foot tall.
Waterloo's is a lot narrower. Oh,
I have no idea what the.
I'm saying 6 foot is just,
That's just the letter.
Well, because it's L,
yeah,
they did the loop, it's what.
but it's set on its side, right? Not,
I don't remember exactly.
I think it is.
What's everybody's?
well, I mean, for one, it's still gotta, it's gonna come back to city council for approval to do anything. I get that. I mean, I guess, gives us a couple weeks to think about different. I think it's too big, in my opinion. That sign's is way too tall for that area.
The
Yeah,
tree's
I just
8
feel-
foot tall. I think.
I just feel those letters of that sign is just massive there, but
I can't see it over here.
There's the loop right there, see it?
Oh, it
The
is,
fourth
it is
one,
right there.
there's a shorter.
Oh,
There-
Oh, there it is. There we go.
Shorter than
Oh, I got it.
landscaping bushes.
there you go.
No, that is set on, okay. For some reason, I thought that was,
so I would say those letters are probably maybe 3 foot tall.
No, but if you look at those kids sitting there, I bet they're,
A little bit taller. maybe.
that's.
I'm saying the Lou, plus, I don't mean, I understand the whole thing
the whole
overall.
thing.
Yes,
know.
I agree is 5,
yeah,
6 foot tall. I
the
agree.
look of where that's at, but there's really nothing behind it. There's no,
There's a parking lot. And a flagpole.
The thing is there, people are gonna take pictures on it. And like you said, they're gonna be standing on the flower pot, in the flower pot and everything else. And I think
Unless
that's,
we do something back behind it.
well, even
That's the
behind
same.
it, but it's where people are gonna stand when they take their picture.
Well, if
what
you
they're
did
saying.
do it behind, make it an extra 2 foot on each end, that way people can stand there next to it, you can have people on both sides. But what's that gonna cost you? What's that?
I said they're gonna be going into you.
Mhm.
Yeah, you'll have that too.
Yeah. that's
At
it.
least that ain't that
And that's
tall.
what it's designed for though. You know what I mean? Like they want
Right.
people to kind of be all over it. So. Just need to make sure that it's safe. So.
Well,
I mean, I guess I like the proportion of this. Instead of the, how it's above the bud, I just the tall bud letters at 5, 6 tall. They seem awful big
Yeah.
for that area.
if it,
Well, and that
if it was set on a
Proportion
side
is,
somewhere, on a slab somewhere, then,
Right.
then it's probably not,
but this thing's got to be at least 2 foot off the ground.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be 8 foot tall plus, and
10-foot tree.
what do we,
I mean, I'm more than willing to meet with Cole and get some more information together and find out what kind of weight and what they're thinking to support it. And then, bring it back. I mean,
Okay.
I don't think at the way it sounds to me, we're at a point to give them a decision tonight, to be honest with you.
No, I guess I didn't. I think that is the location something that you're up to discussion, like, is that going to be okay? Or should we move forward and get some more of those dimensions and all those specifics in order to kind of get some more ideas of what it would need to do from an install perspective?
Because
We can
water,
absolutely do that. I just didn't want to do that without you guys, and saying like, oh no, we don't want it there type thing.
because if I remember correctly, Waterloo is lit at night by floodlights, I believe.
I think you're right.
I mean, that's a pretty big footprint. And when you think about the whole scheme of it all, is there even enough room where they're wanting to do it at all? Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good sized chunk of concrete. And if we put it behind it, I mean, we're into the parking lot, it is what it is, but it's a pretty good sized area.
I'd like for Rodney, if you're willing to do that.
Yeah.
Meet with Cole, get more information. And bring
More
it
than
back
happy to
us,
do it.
and we could
Perfect.
maybe put it back on the agenda for
Yeah.
council.
Yeah, I think maybe the other thing to throw out there, Rodney, is if they went to a different location, we could possibly take a look at, doing some landscaping, making another little pocket park, with a bench and a picnic table, and if you did that at the library, would be the perfect place. To have a little park out front where people could Yeah.
So like. So that's where we're gonna leave it. Rodney, you'll speak to them and report back.
More than happy to do it, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Appreciate it. Anything else for anything for the good of city or public comments on anything? I will adjourn finance at 6:44.
Okay, thank you. Personnel Committee is up next, so I will take that. Call Personnel Committee at 6:44. Demond is absent, Dojon's present, Gebert's present, Parsons present, Peel is absent. No old business, so new business. I'll call for a motion to last month's meeting minutes of October 20.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. There's no other business. Any other public comments for personnel? Hearing none, I'll close the meeting at 6:45. Next up, public health.
Okay, we'll call Public Health and Safety to order at 6:45. Myself, Dojan, Gebert, Mueller, and Parsons are all present. Under old business, we have School Resource Officer. As you all know, this is something we've been working on for some time, trying to come up with agreement, intergovernmental agreement with the school district. And I mean, this probably dates back to what, 6, 7, 8 years ago, John? At least. Anyways, I think we've got a pretty good agreement set up with them. You all got a copy of it early in the week. If you had a chance to take a look at it. We didn't reprint it for this, but I spoke to most of you. I don't think there's any opposition to anything on it. There was a couple questions. But I think this is something we're ready to move forward with. If we pass this to council tonight, the school board is meeting tomorrow night. They're going to approve it, and then we would approve it at our December council meeting, and then we would move forward from there. And John would have to go through the proper channels of posting the job opening and all of the legal things.
Once we approve it, we're not contractually obligated till January 1st, right? Not when it's.
That's
the
what they're gonna
contract
kind of
starts.
shoot for.
That's what we're shooting
Is
for.
January 1, or
Get somebody hired.
it's actually probably the middle of January by the time they get back to
So
school.
part of this with the posting, I would have to post it, and if somebody internally would take it, then I would need to replace the officer that takes this position also.
Right.
So potentially looking at moving somebody into a school resource officer and hiring a new person to fill that position.
Yeah, so
So
I-
I would post both for 10 days. In
For the
case somebody
union.
internally would take it, and that way I'd have, that would be legit by what the ordinance
Right.
says.
right.
Do you have any active officers already on the payroll that has the school resource officer training? I've seen that part of it in the
I
contract.
have up to a year with them being in the school for a year before they have to have the training.
Okay,
So as long as
I was just curious.
they get it within that first year of being in that school, that they're fine.
We're good. Okay.
Yeah. And I think the superintendent said they don't go back to school till like the second week of January. Does that sound right?
So I think I
He
might have,
told us that in one of those meetings.
I think,
Remember that lady?
Yeah, I don't know how the holiday falls.
hang on,
but,
I've got it
The
with
fifth.
me.
But anyways, it's
Yeah.
not, it wouldn't be January 1, huh?
They don't go back to January 5th.
January 5th, okay.
Okay.
So, I
Actually,
mean,
sorry, not the 5th. It'd be the 6th. They're off the 5th as well.
Yeah, we'd have an extra week there also to do whatever we need to do.
Okay.
If there's no other questions, I'll make a motion that we approve entering into an intergovernmental grant with Red Bud High School District 132 to provide a school resource officer.
I'll second.
I'll move.
First and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, let's see, new business. I'll make a motion, we approve the Monday, October 20th, 2025 minutes.
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Departmental activity report. You all have a copy of it in your packets. Anybody got any questions for John? No, okay. The third item is Kratom, is that correct?
Kratom, Kratom.
Kratom information. John called me and he feels this is a pretty big concern for the community and a lot of other communities around us have taken a look at it, and I'm gonna let you take it from there, John.
Correct. I got an email actually, and the mayor brought it to my attention about the harmful effects of this stuff. Apparently it's been around for a while. I was unaware of it. It's addictive, and I think I've sent out plenty of information with the emails I sent out, and plus the information in the packet. A lot of what concerns me is the withdrawal symptoms. That once they start using it, get addicted, it's almost the same withdrawal system as opioids or heroin or any of that other stuff. That's what's concerning to me. Quite a few other towns have banned it in their town because the Food and Drug Administration and stuff, I think, have taken a look at it, but they're not quite there yet to say it's illegal yet. I know Smithton has banned it, Marion's banned it, Heron's banned it. And there's a few others I didn't check with. I believe it is a health concern for our town, and that it's probably something we need to look at making it illegal. We've got 2 stores in town that sell it right now. And then there's 2 right outside of town that sell it. So we wouldn't have any effect on the ones right outside of town. But we could do the responsible thing within the community here and say, we're just not selling it here. You'll have to go outside town and get it.
So I'm assuming basically what you're looking for tonight is, I guess if anybody's got any questions on it, or, and are you looking for approval to have an ordinance wrote up to ban
Yes,
this?
move forward with it, or I said I got several sample ordinances that I could.
Does that need to be a motion, Rebecca? For you to, I guess won't hurt to make one, right?
Wouldn't hurt because we'll spend money. We would spend money having her do
Yeah.
it, so it doesn't hurt.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve the city attorney to write up an ordinance banning kratom.
Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Public comments, anything for the good of the city? Hearing none, I'll adjourn at 6:51.
Okay, next up for the evening will be Cultural Committee.
I will call cultural committee to order at 6:51. Myself, Dojan, Giebert, and Mueller are all present. Demont is absent. No old business. We'll move straight to new business. I'll call for a motion to approve the prior month's meetings, October 20th, 25.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. We have a request from the First Pentecostal Church of Redbud to hand out candy at the 4-way, not a collection, just a handout, December 20th, 2025 from 11 to 3. I will call for a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved. Any public comments, anything for the good of the city?
I actually, just because we were talking about it, when we collect at the square, can we put out there, can we do something to keep them, say, 2 stripes down from the stop sign? That way they
There-
don't inhibit traffic so much.
There
I think
is,
it's actually part of the ordinance. isn't
yeah,
it?
I think it's
Then we
part
need
of,
to
There's something on there.
stay on it.
Or part of the application.
Yeah, I thought we did that forever ago, and
I think it's,
I know.
they need to be away from the stop signs.
we could ask
Do we
the
look at
police.
permanent markers?
What I need is probably something that I hand out to the guys so they're aware. Most of them are now aware of how this works. I'll give them a copy of it.
Yeah, it's either ordinance or maybe in the full application. I'm virtually certain it's written somewhere, Kyle.
Okay, because if they're further away, traffic does not get
No.
bogged up hardly at all, if at all.
And that was addressed at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah, just from a safety standpoint.
Well, the trucks can't turn, it's,
Right.
we just need to stay on it. Okay, thank you.
Do we look at something permanent there, like a marker in the road?
Make a mark with the spray paint.
I mean,
I mean-
I've noticed,
Just make sure that we reiterate that.
Or outline it on the application?
the last few I've seen have been further back from the square than they
Yeah,
used
they
to
were
be.
really good this past one.
The last few I have seen have been back, so.
We're out there.
Was I too close? Sorry.
No, it's not good.
I did it Saturday morning, so I was the one who set up the sign. But I do feel like last year when I did it, I spent half of my time picking up my sign and walking over the sidewalk just to get out of the way. And I was pretty far back that time, but
Right.
yeah, with the trucks, you're just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like you spend most of the time just trying not to get hit by somebody.
That's all you do.
It's a lot of fun.
Any other comments? Hearing none, I will close cultural committee at 6:54.
Okay, next up is Public Works for the evening.
I call the Public Works at 6:54 with myself, Dojan, Hanama, Nevoice, and Parsons all present under old business.
The plant report, just been our generation runs per our schedule.
Utilities, streets.
Red Bud Business Park installation up is gonna be coming up. We got the SWIC service installation is gonna be upcoming to finish that up. Jeff, and just regarding the Red Bud Business Park, kind of goes electric and gas. Now that we kind of have corner stake, we're gonna be working on trying to get some piping and stuff put up on those corners, so then we can measure out easements, make sure when we're putting in these utilities, we're actually staying in the easements and making sure that the easements are the proper sizing before we do a final plat. So that's kind of on that. Water, we completed the well 13 piping repairs. We had a leak on the drain line that comes back from the pump that goes back into the well casing. There's an old cast line, had some holes in it. We had to fix that. Sewer, we had a pump replacement we did recently at the Bussy State Lift Station. Curb and gutter, sidewalk replacements. The concrete work and everything is done. They were finishing up some backfill and stuff up there on Rock Hill Lakeview where they finished up doing that work. And then obviously we've got Christmas season prep work ongoing. We finished the trees. Now it's just a matter of checking outlets and what trees are
Getting them all
working,
to work.
getting them all to work. So I had the guys go through and make sure the ones that weren't lit from last night were all at least plugged in. So I'm gonna go back after the meeting and make sure which ones could be either a GFI or an outlet issue. So usually try and get that done all this week.
Okay, the electric rate studies.
Yes, what you have in the packet was just from their, which is basically from that presentation they had given. It's from their executive report. I just provided their Appendix A rate design. Wanted to see, this is basically the same information that was presented at the October meeting. Wanted to, get your thoughts on it. I didn't have anybody that reached out with any questions or anything regarding this. This would be just what they would look at following their recommended rate design for the different rate classes. And also including that 3 cents PPA shift. As well as, the dusk to dawn rate changes as well. Did anybody have any questions regarding that? Or,
Josh, what was your thoughts on timeline for this?
well, like I said, we kind of, whatever work, I mean, we don't have to necessarily, we could do the ordinance at December council, just having to get the paperwork together. We could even get some time together, to make sure with the holidays and everything, be rewriting all these
Yeah.
specific parts of this ordinance, but we can make it an effective date, whatever we would feel
Okay, I just-
necessary.
the timing right now. would-
No, I'm not saying that we approve it and say it goes into effect right away. We do have a water, I think water and sewer increase or a water increase that goes into effect February 1. I don't say we do it necessarily that same timeline. You could set it up that it's gonna
Maybe
be,
even closer to budgets.
you could do
you
it,
know.
you could set it up to be a May 1. It's,
Okay,
we've dealt with this. It's just now, are you guys good with this rate design? And if so, we'll get moving and I can work with the attorney on specifics as to the ordinance.
okay.
With that, it would just be then,
I
we would
didn't
have an
know if you had a
effective date.
Timeline set up or not, but basically no,
What's that?
basically no,
It's,
nothing definite.
no, we don't have to sit there and say, whatever we want to think, but if you guys think we'd rather do like in April or May, more in line with the fiscal year. Kind of lines up with the other changes that go on, then it gives us time to make sure that we get all these little details and
Yeah.
stuff.
I'm just
worked out in the
thinking right
ordinance.
now with holidays.
No, it's,
Higher utility bills in winter months.
Yeah, well, if we shoot May 1st,
we can set it up to be a May
We
1
can-
start,
Yeah,
so.
we can talk about that.
So do you
Okay.
need approval on?
Would be approval to draft an ordinance,
Okay.
and we could have the ordinance passed December or January, whatever it was, with an effective date of May 1.
So basically, we just need make a motion to create an ordinance for these according to the rate study.
To the rate study, we bring that formal ordinance back with the noted changes in there for formal approval.
That's
With the effective date of May 1, if that's what you guys are thinking.
I do not understand electricity whatsoever. It's well beyond what I can even fathom. But how come commercial gets such a discount compared to the residential?
Because right now, the commercial side of things is actually the rate structure that's currently in place for the commercial is actually recovering its cost. So the cost of service for commercial, you're actually ahead. That was in the slides, and I have the full report here. No, it's long drawn out report, Kyle. I mean,
No, and
that's kind of,
and I'll never understand it, but when I see a 19.5% hit to residential and then negative 4.6%
No, that's
to
not what
commercial,
you
I don't
think it is.
understand this at all. I just want to make sure that we're all.
Josh, can you explain that COS? He had to explain it to me today too. That's
It's the-
not your overall.
that's not the overall increase. You're looking at like an 8.5%, 7.5, 7.88. Based on the cost of service, it's minus 4.6, but it ultimately what it comes down to, it's an average of an 8%, 4%, 4% over a 3-year period.
Right, but theirs is dropping significantly and the residential is staying the same after
No.
the first year.
It's not what it looks like.
It's the first one, the first increase is a higher to get the first year kicked off.
Sure.
The second percentage is, commercial's only going to need a 3.4 because the rate structure currently recovering more of the cost than the other rate structures currently are, so the residential is actually under collecting. So that's why you're seeing a little bit more for
Okay.
the residential side. That versus your commercial small power and dusted on.
Okay. I'll never understand it anyway. So,
Me either.
okay. Did we get approval on that? I think I made a motion. That all got approved. Okay. So succession plan.
No update.
Okay. New business. I'd like to make a motion that we accept prior month's meeting minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Made the second on your motion.
That's what I was asking. Okay, so back to my motion was, that's what I was thinking we didn't have a second on it. So anyway, I made the motion that we get the resolution drawn up for the rate study recommendations.
I'll second.
Okay.
May one,
all-
right? So was that part of it?
As of May 1, yes.
Yes, okay.
I'll second.
Thank you. so
All in
much.
favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay.
Kurt, backing up just a section, I know you said nothing on succession planning, Josh. Has Joe started his training for the water?
No, because they don't have any short classes right now. They usually start after the first of the year. So I've been keeping an eye out for when those come up. So we're looking to get him in whenever those classes get scheduled after the first of the year.
Okay. And so at this point, if Derek moved into just the plain water department?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'd like to make a motion to approve prior month's meeting minutes. That we did.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, holiday lighting coupon. There it is. I'd like to make a motion that we pass the $15 reduction on residential electric bill for outside lighting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
I was just looking at this. Is there a need to put a date on here with the last that it could be turned in?
As far as for when billing, whenever she inputs.
I mean, I know it's, yeah. Oh,
You got it,
January 10th. I'm sorry. It was too big. I couldn't see that. I was looking for something little down here at the bottom. I thought we always had that on there. Okay.
Okay, the 2026 MFT resolution is something we do every year, I believe.
Yes, it includes our maintenance program, which is the oil and chip, buying materials. We buy rock, Easy Street, the BAM mixture. I don't think we ever do sand out of this, but, and then also included, like in the last 2 years, we did the asphalt patching. We're actually gonna shift a little bit, put some concrete patching in there. Finish up some more of the curb and gutter work, up on Rock Hill in that area. And that's included in there as well as continuing on some sidewalk replacements. So we would basically be looking for authorization of the resolution and applicable signatures for with this resolution, so we can get this submitted by the deadline, December 15th deadline.
So I make a motion that we approve the 2026 MFT resolution.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Most carries. Okay, so the MFT concrete project
That was just a listing of what
Okay,
I just mentioned.
and the various projects is pretty much,
The various projects, that is something that I wanted to bring up. Rodney had actually we have two different ones I want to bring up as possibly as part of the budget discussions for next budget cycle. When we were doing the culvert work, we were down there and Rodney also brought it up as well. That section of road down there, Rock Hill Theodore, we're on that curve with that oil and chip, the potential for maybe concreting that. We first were thinking asphalt, but then as Rodney pointed out, you can better hold grades with concrete and really get that to slope where you want it to get the water to flow in, especially putting a concrete apron over there where there's a rock apron already for going into the Lutheran school section where the water's coming off of there. Possibly just concreting kind of from where the curb stops up the hill now to around the corner where we stopped it, kind of concreting that area. For one, it would help with any cleanup efforts. You don't have to worry about rock and everything washing out. I think it would help with the drainage, keeping water flowing where it's going. Before I really started diving into this and kind of getting some costs to put together in the budget, I wanted to get you guys' take on it.
Would concrete help with snow removal too? Snow and ice? removal?
Especially on the hillside, and then we could
That's what-
pre-treat, especially with that being concrete, you can get a better pre-treatment down versus an oil and chip. So that with that culvert,
Usually not a very good area.
so
right there.
with that, you could have a better pre-treatment down on that to help. We do try and pre-treat anyway, but with oil and chip, it just doesn't seem like it wants to work as well, especially coming down that hillside.
If they go through that guardrail, they got problems.
Yes. So just some, if you guys are good with it, I'll work on it to include it in the budget is what this is ultimately. I don't need any.
okay.
yays
And
or
then
nays
the
in
next
this
one would be the sidewalk extension.
Yes, I was approached by actually Earl Socklavin about this as he was sitting on his front porch watching people going down East Market sidewalk, and then when they get to the edge of the sidewalk at the end of his property, having to go out on the highway to get down to Lockwood Drive. And the biggest problem, I know this has been talked about before, was being in the right of way and that ditch there and everything else. But Earl brought up that he'd be willing to give us an easement. And then if we were to basically take the sidewalk where it sits now, swing it up into the private property,
See, Earl owns that property down to Lockwood.
I don't know if or one way or another, but anyway.
I think he owns, or maybe,
He has an easement across there.
Right,
Maybe he
right.
used to, but he has an easement for his sewer line. So we could talk to them as well. If it's something we want to entertain, it's something I'd like to maybe think about maybe putting in there from a safety standpoint. Getting people from having to swing out on that highway.
sure,
He brought it up. And like I said, the biggest holdup in the past was the fact that if we continued it straight, you're in the right of way and you have the ditch.
We've talked about that forever, but it's always been the ditch and.
And so now
we can never catch it.
he's come back and said, I'd be willing to, give an easement across. If you can get one from there, we could actually create a sidewalk that goes over to Lockwood. It doesn't let the
Sure.
people get out onto.
so I think everybody would be in favor of you pursuing these
Oh,
projects.
that's what I'm looking at, just
Right.
a favorable yes, then I will look at doing this and putting something in the budget for some projects for this
Okay.
for next year.
So no action on it, but
No, I
yes
don't
for
need any
everybody.
formal action at this time, no.
Okay, any other public comments?
Josh, I know we, at the last meeting, we had Wagner. I'm assuming you did switch out his meter.
We did switch out the meter. We did test it at our office, ran 100 gallons, 100 gallons through it. Filled up what we have as a tank of 100 gallons. We filled it up and it was right there at 100 gallons. I did send it off to Census to have formally tested because they can test varying flows. And talking with our salesman through Core Maine, He says that over the last 3 years, he's sent 5, 6 meters in. They've all come back 98% accurate or better. But we're doing our due diligence, at least send that off to make sure that the meter's accurate. And then the email that I've sent out, as within my weekly, I think I copied and put that information in there
last week.
for everybody. That was the response, that really, no further action until I get that test results back to kind of see where we're at on that, to make sure we don't have any other further issues going on.
You haven't heard back then from him. He knows
No,
where
I
you're
don't
at.
know how long, and I haven't heard back from Matt at all in regards to my response, and I haven't heard anything on the testing. I mean, that
Okay.
meter got sent off week ago or so.
Okay.
Any other comments? If not, I make a motion to adjourn at 7:10.
Okay, thank you. Next up is zoning committee. So I will take that one and call it to order at 7:10. Peel is absent, Demond is absent, but Gebert, Mueller, and Nevoy are present. First up, under old business, comprehensive plan update. The planning commission meets tomorrow night and should take under consideration what we think is the final version. Anything to add, Jeff? Okay. New business, I'll call for a motion to approve the prior month's meeting minutes of October 20th.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next up, City Hall improvements, tuck pointing the quadrant contract. Jeff, do you want to make any contributions on that?
Sure. If you guys remember, we were gonna do the east wall, because it's the worst of the 3 walls. And we pulled it out of the last contract because the prices came in really high. Our thought was that we would do all 4 walls in one shot and just have a strict tuck pointing. So it following with quadrants, maintenance list for things to do to City Hall. This is kind of the final one to get this place shored up and as good as it can be. Quadrants asking for 16.5 to prepare bid documents, plans, specs, bid. And they would also come in and do some quality control for us as well. It would be my intent, if you're in agreement, to go ahead and pass this tonight, get this contract signed in December and try to go out to bids February-ish. I do have them putting together a cost estimate for us. I think it was 3 years ago, we got the estimate was $135,000, so it's gonna be a little more than that. On today's money,
For the whole building?
yes.
Jeff, did the tuck pointing under the window contract, did that get done finally?
We got a parapet that we still need to get done, but everything else has been done, yes.
As far as the window replacement?
Yes. The last thing on the job they're doing now is they gotta figure out how to put the machinery required for the door assist downstairs. There's not quite enough headroom to get the unit in there. So I got Quadrant working on that right now to rectify that situation.
Jeff, you have any clue last time this was tuck pointed? Would have been in the last renovation?
I don't remember any tuck pointing in the last renovation, to be honest with you, but I was hired right as this was wrapping up back in 05. So it's been at least 20 years and
Yeah, that's what I would assume it was probably then.
yeah.
And tuck pointing typically lasts. I don't know, Rodney?
Well, I mean, if it's not right, it'll last a long time, but there's some spots in this building definitely need to be tuck pointed.
Yeah, this east wall's an issue for
I mean,
sure.
it's not an option to wait.
It truly needs to be done.
So Jeff, is this enough to approve, or we want to approve a final from him, or
No, I think we can approve.
we can
this.
approve this? Okay, so I'll call for a motion to approve the architectural services in your packet presented by Quadrant, not to exceed 16.5.
Second, or so moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor
All right.
Aye.
and opposed? Motion carries.
I'm not on this committee.
Oh,
I said.
I'll
yeah, I
make-
don't normally chair it.
Line
so-
I'll
circled
make-
everything.
I'll make the motion.
And
I
to
second
accept
it.
The contract not to exceed
I voted
65.
yes.
This is why I should not substitute in these things. Okay, I think we got that straightened out. You're good,
Yes.
Joanne? Good,
Good,
good.
thank you.
Okay, next up is the Red Bud Business Park covenants, and I am gonna toss that to Jeff.
Yes, what you have in your packet is just a sample. It doesn't apply to us at all, but it just brings up a few things that we can control through covenants that happen out at the park. I know on the original East Industrial Park that we did, there was discussion with council about requiring so much stone on the front of the building. Customer and employee parking must be either asphalt or concrete, lay down yards are allowed to be rock. Just different things that we could control if we so want to. And to make that enforceable, you put covenants together. So I was just wanting to get this started. The final plat, I'm thinking we'll have it ready for approval in January. So we do have time on this. But just to start getting everybody thinking about, do we want to limit anything? Do we want to require trees planted in the front of each build, whatever you think of.
I think we kind of had verbal covenants, didn't we?
I kind of bullied,
I can remember us making some people put some stone up and.
I kind of bullied my way through it as best I could, but I would really like to have something to hang my hat on if we want to do that this year. This
Yeah,
time.
because I know back like Ultra Play, and I think correct me if I'm wrong, the city ended up putting the trees.
We did
in.
the trees.
Yes.
That was the natural barrier.
That was the barrier between because of some of the stuff. So
Right.
you won't have residential yet backing up to it, but someday it could be a possibility.
That's right.
So those would all be things you might want to consider.
And that's already in our city ordinance, so we're covered on that barrier, but that's a good point.
So just out of curiosity, and I know it's industrial, but when it comes to smells and noise and hours of the day, do we have, or is that something to think about? Because if the wind's right down, over there, it's just melted, burnt plastic. And I get it. Okay, it's a factory, but if we have somebody come in and it's 1 o'clock in the morning and they're banging and doing whatever, they're not that far away. So is there any limitations to the time of day or how loud something can be, or it has to be? I don't know. And I walk over there and it stinks and I think, well, put an industrial park, what can we and can't we control if we're talking about it? I don't know. I'm just asking.
It's a great question. I don't know either.
I would say some of that is covered in our ordinances with noise control, but I don't know as far as smell.
I mean, I get it. That's just part of it.
but
And
yeah.
it is fortunately outside of town, but like you said, they
Some
built
years
around
ago-
or whatever, you know what you're gonna do, but
Some years ago, over where Ultra Play used to be, we had a person behind there complaining about the fans and stuff. We didn't have a noise ordinance to stop it. So there's nothing we could do at that because of that. And I don't think that's been changed.
Okay, so maybe that's something.
So
would you
that
like me
might
to
be
look into
something
that?
to address.
I don't know. I don't know what we can and can't do. I just,
Well, that's
if
what I.
if we're doing this, yeah. I
As
would
far
think
as
so.
hours of
The-
operation, I don't think you can limit to what they do. If they want to
Probably
run
not.
3 shifts, they're probably have the right to run 3 shifts.
I mean, air pollution's an IEPA type of thing.
Well, hopefully we we attract good, clean industry.
Oh,
We don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
We've been pretty fortunate with that.
You get another foundry back there though. that-
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be.
That was in my mind, but I wasn't gonna bring it up.
Sorry.
Are there some components that are the most important for Jeff to isolate? Is it the materials of what the building is constructed in? Is
I
it the
think you're
parking
gonna wanna-
lots?
Especially on the highway frontage lots.
Yeah.
You're gonna want a little bit of nicer facades on the building, I would think. Especially on the highway frontage lots.
And that was recommended through the economic development.
That was,
Commission as
yes,
well.
that was
Okay,
one of the items that one of the committee members was pretty adamant about is the highway frontage lots.
how about parking
Is
areas?
there a percentage or anything they came up with per chance
No.
or?
I can look back through my notes.
Yeah,
You
we can
might
look at
have
the minutes,
mentioned it.
but, I don't think there was anything specific, but it was with the intent, whatever we decided, we wanted it to look nicer and to have stipulations on what that would be. So, the appearance, parking lots, building materials. Those were the big ones that I
Those were the major ones, yeah.
That I can remember.
Well, should we pursue those in writing? And bring back a sample? Is that you? Is that you? Who does the,
Rebecca would do it,
okay.
yes. I can work with Rebecca and we'll get something for December committees.
Okay. Do you want a motion to have you work on that? Spend some money? Okay, I'll call for a motion to have the attorney work on covenants for the Red Bud Business Park.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second with those on the committee.
I was gonna say, I'm not.
All in favor?
I'm not on a committee.
Okay, all in favor?
Hey,
Okay, no opposition, motion carries. Okay. Public comments as far as zoning, anything? Okay, hearing none, we will shift to the last meeting of the evening, recreational facilities.
All right, I'll take that. Myself, Hannibut, D-Boy are all present, Demond and Peel are absent. Under old business, also I'll call to order at 7:20. Under old business, we have the pool post-season plan.
The approval signed docs have been sent over to Eric and information sent over to concrete contractor. I'm just waiting to hear back from Eric. I'll follow back up with them on what their possible timeline would be to make sure then that we could get the concrete removed before they're ready to come in. And that's kind of ongoing on the pool postseason.
Okay, thank you. Under new business, I'll make the motion to approve the prior month's meeting minutes from October 20th, 2025.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. There's a proposal in here for a new lifeguard stand from Ultrasight. It appears that we are in need of one. So I would make a motion that we move forward as presented, not to exceed $1,156.72.
Kyle, did we replace both of those? Or
We replaced the lower one several years back. Year or two ago, we replaced the one that had some fiberglass that was coming off of the taller stand. Now the other one is starting to go and they're
Okay.
just old antiquated, so it was just
I
time
didn't
to,
realize we had three of them out there.
yeah, there's two on the deeper end and one on the shallow.
Yeah.
Kyle, look at your amount at the bottom of the page there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Recruited.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
1,000, let me change my motion to $1,473.72.
Yeah, was there a second on that?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Jill. And public comments, anything for the good of the order? Hearing none, I will adjourn at 7:21.
Okay, thank you all. We did a lot of business this evening.
Hmm.
And I guess it would be apropos to say have a great Thanksgiving because that'll be here before we know it.